So, this session is mostly singing the bhajans, explaining them, and also mantra chant continuously. Instead of philosophy or talking, I will sing, explain, and get into the devotional aspect. So, I want to start with some of the prayers which are very common. This is very popular, known prayer everyone knows in India from Sanskrit. Asato ma gad sadgamaya. Dear Lord, lead me from untruth to truth. Asat, untruth. Sat means truth. Asat means unreal or temporary. Sat means permanent. Lead me from impermanent reality to permanent reality. Second one, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Lead me from darkness to light. Darkness means ignorance. Light means knowledge. Knowledge removes darkness. So praying to Lord, lead me from darkness to light. That means awaken me to higher knowledge. And third one is mrityo mam amritam gamaya. Lead me from death to immortality. Death means temporary world. Death of body, death of things, everything is changing. So what is immortality? Is the presence of higher self, presence of Atman. So give me the awareness of Atman so that all the temporary changes and temporary extinction I rise above. So this, again, the prayer, Asato ma sadagamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Other one is Tvameva mata Tvapita Tvameva Bandhu Sakha Tvameva mata Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Tavinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. This is, dear Lord, thou art my mother, thou art my father, thou art my brother, thou art my friend, thou art my wealth, and thou art my knowledge. Thou art my everything. So this is for surrender. Other one, Kayena vacha manasendriyeva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhava karomi yadya sakalam parasmai narayanaye samarpayami. Here is Kayena vacha. All the action we do with doing. Vacha means with speech, with thoughts, senses, kaya, vacha, mana, indriya. So anything I do with thought, speech, and action, I surrender to God. That means I am an instrument. I am not the doer. Everything I do as instrument, so I am free from all the actions. So those two prayer, and the other one which is from Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasya. That is from Isavasya Upanishad. This Upanishad, all Upanishads have Shanti part or peace invocation, and this is the peace invocation. The meaning is Purnam Adaha Purnamidam. Purnam Adaha means entire universe, supreme consciousness or Brahman is perfect. Purnam Adaha means the world is also perfect. This world, when it disappears, I'll make sure, okay, still the supreme consciousness doesn't change. And this entire book I wrote, this is the latest book, explains the principle, the supreme reality and ultimate reality. If you read it, you will understand it. I'll give you some general idea. Sun is like original source. It's reflected in the water. The reflection of sun is exactly like the sun. If you put 50 container, 50 suns will be visible. But when you empty the containers, the reflection disappears. Original sun is not affected. So supreme consciousness is eternal. Nothing happens to it. Like a mirror, everything is reflected in the mirror. Mirror doesn't change. It's nobody in front of the mirror or 100 people in front of the mirror. Mirror doesn't change. So supreme consciousness, it is eternal. Okay. And relative consciousness is our world, which is relatively real. So I want to bring out some verses from Adi Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya, who lived 800 AD, that means 1200 or 1300 years ago. He was the proponent of Vedanta philosophy. He interpreted all the basic scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, and all the Upanishads. He is considered the authority on Advaita Vedanta. So my later books are on Advaita Vedanta. Though he was in Advaita Vedanta, he composed some of the verses that is called Moha Mudgara. He composed 31 verses that is for monks to remove attachment to the world. Also, he composed 6 verses called Atma Shatak, 6 verses that gives you the knowledge of the self. I have both of them translated in this book, Secret of Bliss, so that if you want to refer, you can do it. The point is, he was at the climax of knowledge, and he says, Bhaja Govindam, that I would translate. There are 31 of them, and I might translate whatever I can and explain. It is in a raga, Ashavari. So for mantra chant, you have to chant with heart, with feelings. Also, what helps is the rhythm and timing. Raga adds to it. So I am going to play the tune of Asavari Raga. Re ma pa ni dha da pa pa ma pa da pa ga ga re sa da pa ma pa da sa re ma pa da ga ga re sa ma pa da da sa re sa da da sa da re sa da ma pa ga re sa da pa ma pa da pa ga ga re sa. In this tune, I will sing and explain some of the verses out of 31. So, Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja means chant. Remember, Govindam means Supreme Lord. So, each verse has Bhaja Govindam at the end. All the teaching and Bhaja Govindam. So, if you want to chant along after each verse, explain, is a Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam. Okay. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. It is a slow step. Then Samprapte Sannihita Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Lokana Kalame. Samprapte Sannihita Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Lokana Kalame. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. He was traveling and he saw one scholar studying the scriptures and arguing with someone about grammar. So he composed that Samprapte Sannihita Kala, when your time comes to go, when you have depart, all the rules of grammar won't be helpful. That means all the book knowledge won't be useful. What will be useful? He says, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate. Mudamate means ignorant fool. So he calls everyone who is not on the right path is ignorant fool. Muda mate. There is no exact word. Muda is somebody like animal like mind. Mate means intelligence. Who has no intelligence, who has no knowledge of who I am, what am I doing. They are living for survival. there are 4 things common I put in the latest book. One, ahar, nidra, bhay, and maithun. Ahar means food, nidra means sleep, bhay means survival, and maithun is procreation. That is common in all the animals. Only humans have potential to rise above it, not just eat and sleep or run after pleasure. So this is why he says, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate, Mudajahi Tanagama Krishna, Guru Sadabodhin Manasi Vitrostam, Yadnavase Nije Karmopatam Vetam Kenavi Modayachitam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate Mudajahi Tanagama Krishna Guru Sadabodhin Manasi Krishna Yalabase Nija Karmopatam Vetam Tenavi Modayachitam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. He says, let go, ignorant one, let go home of all the desire for wealth. Desire is not anything you do, but let go of desire. Remove all the desires. Get good sense, sadbuddhi. Buddhi means intelligence. Get good intelligence so you know that all the desires is the cause of all the suffering. What do you do? Don't worry about money, but you always work. That is karma yoga. Work, but whatever comes as a result, you enjoy it with glad. That means whatever results come, accept as blessing of God. In the Bhagavad Gita, last time I explained, karmanye vadikaraste ma phalesu kadachana mate karma phala hetur bho mate sankos karmani. You have control only on action, perform your duty, not for the results. Whatever comes depends upon many factors. One of them is prarabdha. No matter how much you plan, you don't get what you want. So let go of all the desires of the results and you will find peace. Other thing is, the law of karma is whatever you deserve will come to you, no matter what you do or not. And what you don't deserve won't come to you, no matter how much you struggle. So you learn the principle that you have control over actions and not over expecting anything. If you do that, you have peace of mind instantaneously. You have peace of mind while living the life. You have peace of mind at the end of the day. You have peace of mind when you sleep because you are free from desires. Root cause of all the desire is tanha, deep desire. Desires have also different stages. You thought about it, you have desire, and ultimate is craving that you cannot do without it. Craving, that means somebody who is alcoholic would have craving and find all the means to get alcohol. Drug addict has craving, so he will find all the things, lying, cheating, murdering to get the drug. This is called tanha, cause of all suffering. So let go of all the desires and realize whatever you deserve will come to you. Okay, next one. Nari Sanabaru Nari Abhideshe Drishtva Moavesham Nari Sanabar Nabhideshe Drishtva Mohavesham एतन्मास वसादिविकारं मनसि चिन्तय वारं वारं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते Nari Sarabar Nabhideshe. This is, even at that older time, the attraction for sex. Say, literal translation, don't look at the breast of the woman and navel region. By looking at it, don't be infatuated. This is only the manifestation of flesh and meat. That means think about it all the time. So this is a topic I will talk, and I think I will end with this because lots of time. But sex has bad connotation by all the spiritual people. They say brahmacharya, they consider celibacy. Brahmacharya means, I explain in the books, Brahma means supreme God, charya means going in the direction of God. So sex attraction is a natural. It should not be condemned. Religions condemn it, and that creates many, many evils. Because entire world is created because of sex. God created entire universe. Even in the plants, the flowers, they get impregnated by some flies. This is very natural. Even the symbol of Lord Shiva, people don't know. They go to temple, is a Lord Shiva image is phallus symbol. That is Shiva Linga. This is what it is. Shiva is not in that sense, but Shiva is creator. So there is consciousness and energy, and that is the combination that what Shiva represents. So brahmacharya or celibacy is misinterpreted. The whole idea is the greatest attraction we have toward the world is a desire for pleasure. So if you somehow tame your senses to remove desire for pleasure, you can go towards God. This is what called brahmacharya. And there are so many people become monks prematurely, ministers become monk, or they don't get married and create all the problems. The whole subject is twisted. So really, sex is a gift of God and is to be understood because we won't be born without that. So the whole idea is remove the attraction for the world so you can go towards God. Okay, so I want to end this for now.